So can we just put Tom Hardy in every movie now and just be done with it? It'll make Hollywood a much better place. Hello the YouTubes, Ash back once again, this time with a review of the movie Locke, starring Tom Hardy. So Locke basically is Tom Hardy driving up the M6 for an hour and a half talking on his mobile phone. How is that a movie? And how is that movie so bloody good? I'm quite a big fan of Tom Hardy. In fact, I'm a huge fan of Tom Hardy. I think he's a phenomenal actor. But I think even the most die-hard Tom Hardy fan would struggle to think that watching him drive a car for an hour and a half is going to be riveting entertainment. Having said that, this film is quality. So the premise really is the man is driving up the M6 talking to people on his mobile phone. But there's a lot more going on. Essentially, his entire world is falling down around him. But what is so fantastic to see is how Ivan Locke, Tom Hardy, manages to keep his shit together while he's talking on the phone to these people, and yet you know for a fact that his soul must be being crushed with every single phone call. This is the kind of film that absolutely lives and dies on its performances, and Tom Hardy knocks this one out of the park, out of the city, out of the country. It just keeps on going. The only issue I have is with his accent, and I'm going to blame that more on the writing than Tom Hardy's performance. I'll come on to the writing in a bit because I do have a bit of an issue with it. But Tom Hardy's accent, I know he's going for Welsh, but sometimes it actually comes across as like Welsh, Indian, Eastern European. But I blame that mostly because of the language that he's forced to use that's in the script. It doesn't sound natural. It sounds like English is his second language, basically. Having said that, I know that Tom Hardy was suffering from a cold when he filmed this, so he obviously couldn't hear himself properly. So that might have something to do with it. I'm just making excuses for the guy because other than slight dodgy accent, his performance was out of this world. I don't want to tell you much about the story. Let's just say that everything in his life starts to go wrong on this one car journey. It really is just Tom Hardy in a car for 80 minutes, but obviously the supporting cast, the people he's talking to on the phone. Andrew Scott, who plays Moriarty in BBC's Sherlock, is absolutely phenomenal and just as eccentric as Moriarty is. Olivia Colman, who I'm not going to tell you who she plays, but she is also excellent as you'd come to expect. And Ruth Wilson also puts in a fine performance. But like I say, you never see these people. They're just voices on the phone, which I guess makes it even harder for them to put on as good performance as they actually do. Now, I don't want to give away too much about the movie because it's one of those films that you really have to watch. The story unfolds as it goes. There's not really much I can give away that won't spoil things, but it's definitely worth an hour and a half of your time. It's one of the best films I've seen this year so far, especially in terms of what budget it had and the scope of the movie. Just what they've managed to pull together is fantastic. Now, I did mention I have a problem with the writing, and it's mostly the dialogue. For the most part, especially when Tom Hardy's talking to the likes of Andrew Scott and Ruth Wilson and Olivia Colman, that's fine. It seems natural. It seems pretty much like an everyday conversation you would have with somebody on the phone. But when he talks to his son's written so bad. Nothing the kid says is believable. It takes place when there's a football match on, and you can tell that they couldn't even be asked to think of two teams that were playing on this one day, so they try every trick in the book to just hide the fact that we're never going to find out who was actually playing football, what match was on that was so important. And I know kids can be obsessive about football, so when they talk to the dad, they want to talk about the match, but it was crowbarred into the conversation in some pretty weird ways, and he kept mentioning about his fact that his mum's wearing the shirt. I'm assuming he means the football shirt, but the shirt. It just keeps being mentioned in the most bizarre manner, and it really started to annoy the shit out of us. There was one other slight niggle that I had, and that was every time Tom Hardy rang his wife, he rang the home phone. Surely she's got a mobile he can ring. It's just a little tiny detail, but it really bugged the life out of us. It's 2014, nobody rings landlines anymore. Just little tiny details that I shouldn't even notice, let alone let affect my judgment of the film. But seriously, other than minor dialogue niggles and stupid little why you're ringing the landline when you can probably ring a mobile stuff, the film's fantastic. Really is. Tom Hardy again is phenomenal. I wouldn't be surprised to see him nominated for awards, pretty big ones, but again, the accent Might put people off. It put me off a little bit. That's it, just a little quick review because this film's gone out of cinemas now. It's probably coming to DVD very soon. Keep an eye out for it, pick it up. I honestly can't recommend it enough. This is going to get 4 Academy Awards from me. I wanted to push it to 5, but with the dialogue issues and the dodgy accent, I just couldn't quite get it there. Definitely pick it up though, it's fantastic. And as I said at the start, let's just get Tom Hardy and everything. The dude's amazing. And as always, if you like this video, subscribe for more, leave a like, leave a comment, tell your friends, tell your family, don't tell me mum, and I will see you next time.